Have you ever wondered how a company from a relatively small country managed to compete with some of the biggest oil giants from Europe and America? For decades, the global oil industry has been dominated by massive Western companies with huge budgets, worldwide influence, and access to advanced technology. Yet, one company from Southeast Asia has quietly built a reputation that has surprised industry experts around the world. That company is Petronas. And what makes this story so fascinating is that Petronas didn't start with the advantages enjoyed by many Western oil giants. It started with a vision, determination, and the ambition to prove that Malaysia could stand shoulder to shoulder with the world's biggest energy players. Today, Petronas operates in dozens of countries, manages major energy projects across multiple continents, and is recognized as one of the most successful national oil companies in the world. But how did Malaysia achieve this? And what lessons can even the biggest Western companies learn from Petronas? Let's find out. Back in the 1970s, Malaysia was still developing its energy sector. Many people assumed that the country's oil resources would mainly benefit foreign corporations. But Malaysian leaders had a different vision. They wanted Malaysians to control and benefit from their own natural resources. So in 1974, Petronas was established. At first, many observers doubted whether a newly created company from a developing nation could manage such a challenging industry. After all, oil and gas is one of the most complex businesses on Earth. But Petronas refused to stay small. Instead of simply extracting oil, the company invested heavily in knowledge, technology, engineering, and talent development. Slowly but surely, it built expertise that allowed it to compete globally. And that's where the first big surprise happened. Rather than remaining focused only on Malaysia, Petronas expanded internationally. The company entered markets across Asia, Africa, the Middle East, and even parts of Europe and the Americas. Imagine that for a moment. A company from Malaysia was now operating alongside some of the largest energy corporations in the world. Would you have expected that when Petronas first started? This international growth transformed the company from a national success story into a global competitor. And the results began attracting worldwide attention. But here's where the story becomes even more interesting. Many large Western oil companies are known for their enormous scale. Petronas chose a slightly different approach. The company focused on efficiency, long-term planning, and building strong partnerships with host countries. This strategy helped it gain trust in many regions where competition was extremely intense. As a result, Petronas often succeeded in places where others struggled. That's a remarkable achievement for any company. But perhaps the most visible symbol of Petronas' success stands right in the heart of Kuala Lumpur. The iconic Petronas Twin Towers. For years, they were the tallest buildings in the world. And even today, they remain one of the most recognizable landmarks on Earth. Think about what those towers represent. They are not just steel and glass. They symbolize confidence. They symbolize ambition. And they remind the world that Malaysia can dream big and achieve big. Now here's something many people don't realize. Petronas is not only important for Malaysia's energy industry. It has contributed billions to the country's development through investments, jobs, infrastructure, education programs, and economic growth. Its success has helped strengthen Malaysia's position on the global stage. That means Petronas isn't simply a company. For many Malaysians, it represents national pride. And this is where another surprising twist appears. While some major Western energy firms have faced criticism over efficiency challenges, rising costs, or difficulties adapting to changing market conditions, Petronas has often been praised for maintaining strong financial discipline and long-term strategic planning. This has allowed it to remain competitive even during periods when global energy markets became extremely volatile. Not many companies can claim that. So what is the secret? Part of the answer lies in people. Malaysia has invested heavily in education, engineering, and technical expertise. Petronas has benefited from generations of talented Malaysians who have worked tirelessly to build world-class capabilities. Behind every major project are engineers, scientists, technicians, and professionals who prove that talent can come from anywhere in the world. And that's an important message. Success is not determined by geography. It is determined by vision, effort, and execution. Let me ask you something. How many global corporations can you name that started in a developing nation and eventually earned respect from some of the biggest players in their industry? Petronas belongs on that list. And the story doesn't end there. The global energy industry is changing rapidly. New technologies, cleaner energy solutions, and sustainability goals are reshaping the future. Many companies are struggling to adapt. Petronas, however, is actively investing in innovation and exploring ways to remain competitive in the energy landscape of tomorrow. That willingness to evolve may be one of its greatest strengths. Because history shows that the companies that survive are not always the biggest. They are often the ones most willing to adapt. For Malaysians, this should be a source of pride. Petronas demonstrates that a company from Malaysia can compete globally, innovate internationally, and earn respect across continents. It proves that success does not belong exclusively to the largest economies or the oldest corporations. Sometimes, determination and smart leadership can change everything. And perhaps that's the biggest lesson of all. The rise of Petronas is not just an oil industry story. It's a Malaysian success story. A story of ambition. A story of confidence. And a story that continues to inspire people around the world. If you enjoyed this story, tell us in the comments, what do you think has been the biggest factor behind Petronas' success? And if you know someone who would be proud to hear how Malaysia built one of the world's most respected energy companies, feel free to share this video with them. Because stories like this deserve to be told. And they remind us that sometimes the biggest surprises come from places the world least expects.